Hey guys, come with me to do a glute based workout. So I've separated my week and I end up doing about 3 leg days within the week. This is a preference. I know for some people it's too many, but I prefer to be lower body dominant. As always, we're starting with our stretches. I prefer to do a little bit of cardio beforehand, just to loosen things up a bit, but it's not needed. I'm starting off with squats on the Smith machine. I actually prefer this machine to anything else just because I feel more stable. This is great for beginners, and even though I've been going to the gym for about 4 or 5 years, I hands down prefer this to anything else. I stick to 3 sets. I don't like to do any more because I feel like I'm tiring myself out for no reason. Depending on what exercise it is and how advanced I am at it, I usually end up adding weight to each set. My goal is usually 10 reps, but it ends up being around 8 on the last set. Deadlifts used to be my enemy until I realised I was doing them wrong. And what I tell everybody is deadlifts aren't supposed to be curvy. You're supposed to be structured and always keep your body aligned. What I mean by that is your back and your head have to be straight. Remember, you're focusing on your glutes here, so your other parts of your body shouldn't be wobbling. As I come up, I'm squeezing those glutes right at the top and then slowing it back down to just below my knee. These can be really tricky to understand. I mean, it's taken me years to understand and master what works for me, and I'm still learning to this day. A quick disclaimer that one thing doesn't work for everybody. People have different body types and different genetics, and it's important to understand that you need to figure it out for yourself. Videos definitely helped me and still do, which is why I'm making this one. But just remember, this is your fitness journey and there's no time limit on it. As you can see, I'm doing hip thrusts here. These are horrible. I hate the feeling of these, but I love the outcome. I always end my set with a little pulse at the top. It really gives me that pump. Again, keep your body aligned, keep your back straight, and remember to go through your heels, not your toes. These are amazing. I love these. I've always loved these. These are my favourite thing ever. This is actually a new machine in my gym, but every gym usually has hip abductors somewhere. This machine actually targets more of your glutes, but you've got the sit-down ones, which are really, really good for your hips. And impeccable for me, who genetically looks like a rectangle. Remember to have your breaks in between. I understand it's difficult when the gym's busy, but at least take a minute in between the sets. These are actually a game changer and really underrated. Oh, and don't forget to breathe, because I usually lose track of my breath and end up almost passing out by the end of my workout. Breathing is so important when it comes to an exercise. Oh my god, I really need to work on my back. What the hell? Okay, so I was only practicing with this because, as I said before, I don't like to do these. It feels loose, it feels free, it feels unsupported, and I'm very aware the bar is not straight. If you learn anything from this video, please do this. This is a spinal decompression. It's so good for lower back pain. Even if you are doing your exercise correct, almost every gym goer usually has back pain. Literally, watch me grow 3 inches. It's so fascinating. I find it so interesting.
Hi guys, I'm starting this 2026 off with no lashes. I have maybe decided, it's not a confirmation yet, but to go no lashes for a good few months. Yeah, I'm just taking a break from them. It's absolutely freezing. I'm also coming to you in 2026 ill and with straight hair because it's my birthday and I straightened it. So yeah, we're off to the gym even though I am ill. I just need to, I've had like a few weeks, Christmas, New Year's, birthday, I'm just celebrating and stuff, had like so much fun, but it's now time to grind and I feel really sluggish. So yeah, we're going to the gym with, I think, a throat infection, could be a chest infection, it could be something completely, entirely different, but yeah, we're trying. Because also it's the New Year's and I need to get into the gym consistently again. However, I have still done something to my back. I don't know what it is, I don't know whether it's like a pinched nerve or what. So we're gonna try and do this slowly and calmly and not do any more damage. I'm also going into 2026 without energy drinks / an energy drink a week. I do think energy drinks help me to push in the gym, but I'm trying to go without relying on them. Oh my god, is that? Just realised my whole like the snow on the glass of my car is like, it looks like it's scratched. Surely not. What the hell? Surely not. Oh no, it's fine guys. It's fine. I'm running low on fuel. I don't know whether to go get some now or just wing it. So I feel like I'll be fine. Yeah? Okay. Oh my gosh, it's not as cold today, thank fuck. But I still feel awful. So let's hope this goes away. I'm still going gym today. I had an interview this morning for the job, which went well. So we're being productive despite the odds. I can't let you down. Our tail was a toy, so I just stood straight up. Oh, did yours? Huh? No, because my grandma would love this. Oh my god. Look.
Yeah. But that one was a bit before. Oh, sorry, I've hid my big head.
You're a bitch. Just kidding. I love you so much, but you are a bitch. Fucking whatever. Paragraph of I love you so much. You're the best friend I've ever had.
That's another shot for everyone.
That's mine.
No, that's my thing.
No, it's my thing.
No, that's my thing.
So while I drive home, I want to touch on mental health for a sec. And I understand that this can be quite a touchy subject for some people, but can also be a boring subject for some people. I understand both perspectives because I've actually been in both perspectives. Yeah, what I mean by I used to mock anxiety is I used to believe it was just bullshit. Like, I genuinely used to believe people would either make it up or just have it for a bit of attention. I was a very sort of insensitive person at that point in my life, and it bit me in the ass because for the past year and a half I have had raging anxiety that has led to derealisation and disassociation. I think that's how you say it. And I have tried so hard to tell myself that it's not that. I haven't got anxiety. I've actually got a underlying health issue, which I do, but I've made it out as if the physical symptoms I'm getting is from this underlying issue, and actually I have a mental health disorder. To say that out loud, it's really it destroys my ego. I've got a really high ego, and it destroys it because I see myself as a very confident person, somebody who, you know, is down to earth, doesn't really take bullshit from anybody, doesn't really give many chances either. And yet I've had to give myself a million chances over and over and over and over. When I moved to Marbella, which was at the start of February 2025, I drank too much and hit my head and had a concussion. I was out of action for about 2 months with body aches and pains and a big cut on my forehead. It's been one of my biggest lessons. But what has come with that is sort of the downfall of my confidence in myself. And what I mean by my confidence is I have confidence on the exterior. I have confidence when it comes to posting, being my unapologetic self. I'm happy showing people who I am, being raw. I'm actually completely okay now with being raw. I try my very best not to be fake on social media. Yes, my Instagram is very aesthetically pleasing, but that's just the way I like it. It's not because I'm trying to be fake, it's just it's the highlights of my life, which is why I started this YouTube, because it was like I kind of wanted you guys to just see a little bit of just like a rawer version of myself. I'm genuinely at the point in my life where my body's breaking down from my mental capacity. I've lost friends, I've lost family members, I have lost, hang on guys, I can't fucking see. And as much as they were really hard to let go of, it's actually impacted me positively. However, I also feel really alone. with my thoughts and my feelings. And as much as I've always been an independent person, I found that actually, for the first time in my life, I can admit that I actually need people around me. My childhood, sort of towards the end, wasn't nice. It was really traumatic, and I don't want to trauma dump whatsoever because I can't stand anybody who trauma dumps. It's a fact that my childhood has impacted my mental health. However, it's impacted it a lot later than I thought it would. Because I've got my little sister, I kind of just said, I'm absolutely fine, put all my energy into her, making sure she's okay. And as much as I thought that was sort of taking my mind off it, it was actually just camouflaging the fact that I actually do have unresolved mental issues that I'm now taking out on myself in later life. And becoming an adult especially has definitely released that stability that I had of just pushing it aside. I've now actually got to address it if I want to be healthy again. I'm getting a little bit emotional just because it feels refreshing to accept the fact that I do have mental issues, but it also is really, really fucking hard because I've spent the whole of my life saying I have nothing wrong with me, I'm absolutely fine, neglecting the help I really needed, and facing the consequences later on. And there are people out there who are very independent and will say that they don't need help. And I just want to say it's okay to get help. Like, I know what it's like. I know how it feels not wanting to face that. But unfortunately, from experience, if you don't face what you have to, it'll bite you in the ass later on in life. And it negatively has impacted my body. What I mean by that is I'm having symptoms I've never had before, like heart attack symptoms, really serious symptoms like palpitations, numbness in my left arm, my legs, literally not even being able to get up. And then my mind goes into a spiral, which means I can't actually breathe properly. There's pressure on my throat. And then that's when my anxiety kicks in, because all I think is, what's going to happen in the future? I'm going to die. The people that love me are going to live without me. Like, how are they going to cope, etc. These are all thoughts that run through my head as I'm having these symptoms. And I have no idea, but actually my breathing has either got quicker, I'm not breathing in enough, and I'm actually having a panic attack without me even knowing. If I'm not around people that I feel comfortable with, or I'm not in my own setting, I will spiral. And my derealisation, I actually made a TikTok on it and it went viral, but I actually didn't realise how many people had gone through the same thing. It's so intense. It literally makes me not be able to talk. And what I've also noticed is my anxiety comes out of nowhere. My anxiety and derealisation and, all these symptoms come out of nowhere. I don't have to have an argument, I don't have to have anything, they just come out of nowhere. I could be happy, smiling, laughing, and it's my brain sort of picks something up that I stressed about earlier on in the day or a few days ago, and will just turn a switch on and I go insane. I've lost people around me who I thought were going to be there forever, and that's I think the hardest part, is that you've actually got to put yourself first, and I know it's hard, but I had to put myself first, because if I didn't, then I don't even know where I'd be today, if I'm honest. What I've also realised is what anxiety thrives off is you curled up in a ball in your bed scrolling on TikTok. That is what anxiety thrives off. When I'm driving through the anxiety, I end up reaching the point I want to be at, where I've overcome it. Whereas when I distract it, it's basically like I'm just curving round and it will just creep up on me in a few days or a few minutes, hours, whatever it is. If I'm doing something and I'm carrying on with my day, being fully aware of it, telling somebody about it, doing something that makes me happy, I also understand that actually anxiety can get to the point where your body completely shuts down, which is what happens to me all the time. It's so constant. Where I struggle to speak, my chest is like killing, my muscles ache. I actually find that just being with my favourite person, watching a movie, is the best thing for me because I literally can't do anything else. However, with that in mind, you have to use it as I'm aware of this. You have to tell yourself, I'm aware of what's going on in my body, I'm aware of what's going on in my head, and it's gonna pass and I'm gonna be okay. You've got to learn your body, you've got to learn your mind, and you've got to stop yourself from spiraling, because mental health is a real thing and I didn't know it until it happened to me. But yeah, if anybody has any tips or anything, then I'd much appreciate that. I've got this and we're gonna get through it. Let's be positive.